freeway. Let's see what the noise is like. Hey, g'day big bikers. Well, it's not a ride day today, but it is a update day today, and the bike's ready. The bike's ready to go to Phillip Island. If you remember, I had a little bit of problem with the front forks. They were finally starting to leak. Haven't touched them since. I actually went back to check the records. 2018 is the last time I checked those fork seals. So that was a bit of a surprise when we got in there. That oil was really black. Same old problem that Africa Twins have, and that is that anodizing on the inside of the stanchions was worn and causing blow past oil to get past the bushings and just put too much pressure on the oil seals. So had a little bit of a look around at what to do next, and to be honest, I wasn't confident I was going to have a proper solution before the end of, or before I needed the bike to be ready to go to Phillip Island. So I spoke to my suspension guy. We said, look, let's just put it back together. We rotated the stanchions so that the pressure is now on the opposite side of where the wear is on it, and it's a bit of a risk. I've got to tell you, it's a bit of a risk going down to Phillip Island, Victoria. It's probably going to be about 4,500 k's. It's going to be in the back of my mind the whole time that we're running kind of worn forks. Worst case scenario, it's going to be more blown seals. So anyway, we'll do what we can with that. I'd rather do that than set up the Cross Tour to take it off-road, because this is an off-road trip. The trip's going to be awesome. We are basically leaving on the 15th of October, and it's going to be pretty much a dirt trip. There's 13 bikes going already. It's a group. I haven't organised this. Has been organised by another guy, Shervo, and he's basically organised for a group of guys to go down. Got a house down there. So but we're not travelling together. So there's a group of guys going on the road, and I think there's 4 fellas that are heading off-road. So it's going to be Shervo on his 901 Norden, Mrs. Jones, of course, Mrs. Jones and I. There's a KLR 650 and an 1190 KTM. So either a 1090 or 1190. So big bikes. Borderline on the 650, but so that kind of got me thinking, should I put the 701 to the test and take it for a run down to Victoria? Far more adventure-y. That was kind of my backup plan if I couldn't get the Africa Twin going again. So anyway, because I don't have long-range tanks or any tanks on that apart from a bladder, I really need, we were working out the ranges the other day, we're going to need about 400 k's. So even Mrs. Jones with a bladder is going to be required. So I'd be pushing it, and the problem with the 701 is you just got to unpack all the luggage every time you want to put fuel in it. So if you're doing long distance and stopping all the time, that can actually be a bit of a drag for the rest of the group that are riding. So we're trying to avoid that. I'm not taking any camping gear this time. So we're just going with basically the backcountry soft bags from Moscow Moto, and we'll have all the tools and everything up here, and space out the back for a bladder. So I've put a new plate on the back of that one to basically just give me a little bit of room to put a bladder on there for those. I think probably once or twice we're going to need it. Everything else is pretty much right to go. Not taking any camping gear. What's that number one thing that you wish you could take on every camping trip? Oh, it's a hotel room. So yeah, that's what we're doing, is we're staying in pubs and hotels all the way down. So we're travelling light, travelling fast, and just getting onto it. Mrs. Jones is back on the road. She's got her Motos Tractionator on the rear. Just service the whole thing, so all new oil and filters. I still have to take that off just to check the air filters. I'm pretty sure they're fine, because it hasn't done any dirt at all in the last 10,000 k's. I've got the Motos Desert HT on the front of that. The last time that was on the bike was in South Australia. It's not a new one, that's the old one I took off. So I know it's a really, really good tyre. I do have a Pirelli Scorpion to go on it, but might as well kill this one completely. As I said, new fork tubes. Well, no, not new fork tubes. So the guts have been reworked. New oil, new seals, new bushings, everything been put in there. I've got a new chain and sprocket, but that's less than probably 3,000 kilometres on that. So that's still brand new. As I said, got a new rack for the back. I'll be taking that with tools. So it's going to have all of the. It's got first aid gear, wet weather gear, tyre levers, tools, all that sort of stuff I need. And that'll basically stay on the bike, and then the backcountry panniers will just come off each night when we stop. So really travelling light, couple of pairs of undies, pair of jeans and a few t-shirts and something warm and dry for Phillip Island. So here we go. Like I said, little in the back of my mind, little concerned about that. But worst case is it'll just blow a seal again, so that shouldn't cause too much dramas. Everything else is fine. The bike's got 60,000 Ks on it. The 2017 model. It doesn't have a lot of Ks on it because it's one of a number of bikes I've had over the years. This has always been my long-range outback touring machine, so it's good to have it set up again for. I've got the footrest back on, so it's not a passenger bike anymore. It's a touring, long-range off-road touring machine. So really looking forward to the trip. It's got some really, really good roads going from the back of basically Boonah and dirt all the way from there down to the Victorian High Country. Things like Barry Station Way, from Walker down to Nundle. From Nundle down to Moonan Flats, Gloucester, and then we're going to duck around a little bit west of that and go out through to Mudgee, and then down through all the back roads down to Mudgee, down to Albury, which will be pretty flat, all that, and then from Albury we're going to cut up and go up across the ranges and drop down into Phillip Island that way. It's going to be huge fun. Really looking forward to it. And I've only ridden with Sherbo. I've been to Phillip Island with him before, him and his crew. So really looking forward to this one, riding with some new guys. And we'll just, the first day is probably going to be our biggest. We've got to get from Brisbane to Ebor all off-road day one. So that's probably going to be our biggest day, fastest day. So hopefully we can get that done. As I said, unsure about the other guys, don't know how they ride, their riding pace, but we'll find that out. It's all part of the adventure. Anyway, all right, and that's about it. I haven't done a video for so long. Doesn't mean I haven't been riding. And I'm going to blame Miss Buttons. Seriously, that girl. We've been away in camper van.
I got a feeling deep inside that you've been lying about where you've been at night.
We've been to music festivals, wine shows, weddings. We've been away on motorbike trips. Just haven't been making videos about it because it's kind of, we spend our whole time in the helmet talking. It's fantastic, and I haven't been making videos. So we've been so busy. There's so much going on. Anyway, it's her fault. That's the reason I haven't been any videos, and BBA has been suffering because of it, I know, and I'm really sorry. Big bike adventure coming up in the next couple of months. We're about 5 weeks out from Phillip Island. I will be trying to do daily updates via the phone as we go, but then there'll obviously be a trip video along the way. So